Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy Monday. So, before we begin this episode, I just want to give a quick little disclaimer that I am okay. I know last week's episode was sounding a little bit depressing, and I'm still a little bit depressed, but I am doing okay and I'm doing good, just pushing through. That was just the reality of things, and I just wanted to be very transparent, but I am okay. And knowing that I only have 2 more months of school left is pushing me all the way through. So I'm okay. So y'all don't gotta text me to asking me if I'm okay or not. I am okay, and I will be okay. So, anyways, this episode, we're just going to talk about the struggles of maintaining relationships, or if it's even a struggle, not only with your partner, but friendships, family, being a parent, and all the relationships that come in between. So let's get into this episode.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Okay, guys. So I see your mouth moving, Kathy. Go ahead.
So I think for me, so when I came into nursing, I never thought I was gonna lose relationships, but came to find out that I did. And sometimes because I feel like I tend to kind of like blame myself, like, oh, was it me? Like, was it something that I do? You know? And it did happen that, like, okay, I don't know if you guys know the difference between like a cactus friendship and then like a flower friendship.
Nope.
No idea.
Okay.
What is that?
So the difference is that a cactus friendship, a cactus, they don't need a lot of water and they're still going to be there. And then when the flower friendship, you still have to be pouring and pouring and pouring, and they're going to grow. And sometimes you have to pick and choose what kind of friendships you want in your life. Like, I know for me right now, in my everything that is going on, I need cactus friendships, because guess what? I'm so busy, I'm going to forget that birthday. And trust me, it's not because I'm being mean or I do not care about you. It's because sometimes it just life happens. It's just I have so many assignments one week, and maybe the next week I don't have that many assignments, And then also, like, becoming a mother, not all my friends have kids. So sometimes they would not understand when I couldn't hang out, or because I do have a kid, I have a person that, that I have to manage all these things in order for me to go out. So for one of my friendships, we had been friends for a while already, and she was a really close friend, and I don't have no hurt feelings or anything towards her. It's just that she wanted me to, like, because basically during COVID, we were like hanging out every day. We were like together almost every day. She lived like near my house, and school started. I became a mom. I've moved all the way to Pittsburgh. I couldn't drive all the way to like Oakland or San Leandro, and I couldn't, I had a kid. He was just a baby, so I had to be with him like 24/7. And then I also had to start school. So it was really hard for me to balance like a school and that friendship. So that's why I was like, well, when like the first year came, I forgot about her birthday. And I know she's really like, when it comes to her birthdays, like she wants to go all out, and like she really likes that happy birthday text. And trust me, it wasn't because I knew, like, there were things that I knew 2 weeks before. I'm like, her birthday's coming, like, don't forget. A week later passed, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Should I send a text message? Is it too late? I don't know. Like, and then when I texted her, she was feeling some type of way. And then I felt like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, then I felt like a bad friend. And then I keep trying to apologize, and I'll be forgetting these things and then trying to apologize until I was like, you know what? Enough. Like, if she doesn't understand that you're going through, like, we're both going through different things in life, then that's fine. I don't wish you nothing but success. but it's just like maybe our timings are off. I am busy being a mom. I am busy being a student. I can't do it all. And if you don't understand that sometimes I am going to forget to send you that happy birthday text, but trust me, if you invite me to a birthday party, I will try to be there. And if I'm not there, it's because of a reason. So there are a lot of like friendships that because I've moved, also I've lost them because the majority of my friends are in Fremont, Newark, Oakland, San Leandro. But I can't be driving up and down because again, over the weekend, I'm with my kid. And then I do have my parents that help me, but my parents have certain health issues that I can't leave my kid with them all the time. And I'm not willing to be paying babysitters all the time. So I have to really pick and choose where I go because, I always think about emergencies. If an emergency was to happen, I'm all the way in Newark, all the way in Fremont, I'm not going to be able to come here because his dad does work Saturday the whole day. And then on Sundays, yeah, I do have like my fiance's help. He does like look after him. But also sometimes I do want to have family time because during the whole week, I am running. So on Sundays, I want to spend some time with my family. So yeah, I have had lost friendships because of school and life. And I've been learning to not being so hard on myself and just blame me because I was like, well, maybe I have to do this. I have to be better. But well, maybe the other person could try to understand that too. So yeah.
Girl, I don't know. I would have been a little salty too if my friend forgot my birthday, the day of my birthday. Was it your best friend? Do you consider like your
Yes.
best friend?
I
And I really
did.
would have been salty. Wait, Jasmine,
How-
I really would have been
okay.
salty because if Vanessa didn't text me for my birthday, if Jasmine didn't text me for my birthday, I would have been salty. But I would have understood eventually. So did that person ever understand where you're coming from?
Like I tried to text her and talk about it, but after that, it wasn't the same. Like the relationship was not the same. So
yeah.
it was just like me trying, and then she was trying for us to have the relationship that we had before I had a kid, which was like us hanging out every time. But I didn't have the time, and it was also this was the first year that I was a mom, so I
Yeah.
was just like trying to figure everything out. And then the year after, I feel like we didn't. The thing is that after that, we kind of like started going like separated ourselves, like kind of we distanced ourselves, and we didn't have nothing else to like. We just stopped talking, and that was that. So that's why I'm telling you, like I have no hard feelings. Like if I see her, I'll give her a hug. I try to talk to her, like, hey, what have you been doing? But I don't think I will receive the same energy because I feel like she'll be feeling a certain type of way.
How long did you know this person for?
Well, I knew her all the way from high school, but we started hanging out more after high school. So it was like
Okay.
more in college, and like it was just weird. And I feel like what hindered more our relationship, it was the fact that I moved because I did
Yeah.
move all the way from Oakland to Pittsburgh, and she barely liked to drive. So she only came here like once, and I couldn't
And
be
did-
going out there.
And I was gonna say, were you trying to go as well? Like, were you guys both trying to drive back and forth to make the relationship work?
Like I was trying to go out there more, but since Tiago was a baby, he would start crying, like he would have like a really hard time. And then
Yeah.
we would text, but it wouldn't be the same. It wasn't the same. Like I felt like it wasn't the same, and we just stopped texting each other, and that was that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely hard to, I think, have friendships or like relationships stay as strong as they are when I think your life changes. Because, like, similar to you, I think that during college, obviously, school was always a priority, but in college as well, like, I also went out and like to have fun. So I, made certain friends. And then when my life changed and I started like really focusing on, okay, I need to get into med school, I need to do this, this, and this, I need to work, I actually need to get my stuff together. Like I stopped going out as much, and I also felt like my friendships and the dynamics of the people who I hung out around changed as well. And it does make you feel kind of sad, like you did something wrong. Similar to you, like I felt like I did something wrong. But I think after getting older, you also do realize like with getting older, your priorities change too, and it's okay to evolve as a person. And when you evolve, sometimes that means that certain people are not going to be in your life anymore. And it's sad, but it's the reality of life. So,
Exactly. And that's what I was basically going to say, Jasmine. It's part of adulting. When you're younger and you're a teenager, when you don't have that many responsibilities, you can do as you please. Like, you don't have responsibilities, so you can go out when you want. You can stay up late. But when you're becoming an adult that has priorities and working towards something, things change. It's a part of
yeah.
growing up. Sadly, not everyone grow up, and so some people are able to still live that high school life, but other people, in a sense that's similar to us, where we're working for a career that's not easily met, or even, not easily accomplished, is like you do have to drop a lot of things, that sometimes even your freedom or like your fun time. And then Kathy, when I said, like I would be mad and everything if my friend forgot about my birthday. Yes, that still stands if it was like a best friend that was like my sister. But again, I do understand, and I would understand, because not only are you in school, but you also have a child. So I know those who are parents, who's a new mom, a new parent, their lives change, because it's not just about them, it's about their child, in a sense that you have to put your child first. So that's was a whole nother big shift in your life, and now that you have a parent, like, because you're a parent. Because even with my sister, she's a mom, and when she had kids, her priorities was her kids. And I know her best friend, um not to say that they're not as close, because I don't want to put that out there, because I don't know their business. But again, they're not able to go out and party as they, when they did back in the day, because again, she has kids and the friend don't have kids, just like I don't have kids and you have kids. So I know when I hit you up and say, oh, Kathy, if you want to, let's hang out, I know that you have to figure out what you're going to do with your son first before you make that confirmation. Because it's not just about you.
Yes, yes. And then also, so in comparison to that friendship, I have another friend, and we did hang out a lot in college. And we were like, yeah, we had fun all the time. Like, I would literally hang out with her at her house like at around 1, 2 in the morning, and then come home. And then we would literally just be watching shows. And it was just, yeah, it was a great friendship. But in comparison to the friendship that I lost, to the friendship that I still have until this moment, she always knows, like, and she's always supporting me. Like, when I got into nursing school, and we haven't hang out, not like the last time I saw her was in my baby shower. But she's always like, when I post things on Instagram, or she's like, oh, nice that you were able to go to Colombia, happy birthday. And I had forget her birthday, I think the first year that I had Tiago as well. But I texted her like a week later. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then she's like, no, it's okay. Like, I understand. And she invites me. And then she's like, only if you can. If not, that's fine. And then when she saw me that I got my pinning ceremony, she was proud of me. She sent me like this big message. So that's when I was like, well, maybe that's when I realized, I'm like, well, there's some type of friends that will understand and some type of friends that won't understand.
Yes, and to quickly add on, sorry, Jasmine, I'll speak and then I'll hurry up. Um, Shoot, again, sometimes it is a challenge, upholding relationships. Um, but then again, some people, you meet them halfway. For example, going back to, like, yeah, I know you're a mom. I'm not a parent, but I still enjoy like hanging out with you. Besides school stuff, Kathy, because we study together, we work out together, and there's some days where I want to do certain things, but I know you have your kid. So what do? I become the best auntie, and I kidnap my niece and nephew for a while, and we have like play dates. Though I don't have kids, but I make, I find some kids, and then we have play dates.
I love that you do that though, because that's really putting in the effort for that friendship, you know? And not only are you like watering your friendship with Kathy, you're also watering the relationship you have with your nieces and nephews, you know? You're like doing two things at once. So, I mean, I love that you do that. And that's actually really smart considering that we don't have as much time as students. And I totally forgot what I was going to say. So I don't remember at all what I was going to say earlier.
Well, I can
You know,
talk. I
Yeah,
can talk
my
you till you
memory's
remember.
bad. Yeah.
Like, write it down. Just write it down somewhere to help you out. But then another thing we have to realize is sometimes you outgrow friendships. And it's sad because like some people you would want for like in your life for the rest of your life, but sometimes you do outgrow friendships. And I experienced that where I've outgrown a friendship, but then a part of me is trying to still hold on to that like relationship. And that's the hardest thing of having to let go or make, realize that that friendship is not what it used to be. And then I found myself like making so many excuses of trying to be as close as we were, but it's not the same. And that happened to me. That's why they said some relationships are just seasonal. Some friendships are seasonal. Not everyone too is meant to be in your life forever, but maybe in that portion of your life, they were meant to be there. And maybe same sense for you, Kathy, is that friendship is that maybe you outgrown that person, and that's okay as well. It's just like hopefully you guys are not on bad terms. Again, I've outgrown friendships, but we're not on bad terms. I didn't get like an argument with them, but we're just not as close anymore.
Yeah, and that's happened to me with another friendship, and Linda knows that I always try to like because I always sometimes you don't see your mistakes, so you need an outsider opinion, and then I tell Linda because I what I like about Linda is that she just tells me how it is. And there was this other friendship that I was trying to hang on since high school. And I was just pouring and reaching. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I would tell this to Linda. Linda was like, I think it's enough. Like you have done the most that you can. You have tried to reach out to this person in different type of ways. You have tried to be there for that person. But if she's not being like reciprocating all that you're giving, then maybe it's enough. Like maybe it's time for you to let it go. And that was kind of hard because I was with that person for so many years, and there was a time that she did came back like for a short period of time when I became a mom, and I was like, oh, finally, like now we're gonna come back to the friendship that we used to have. But it didn't happen, and then I just had to learn to let it go because I was just holding on to something that it was just not going, it wasn't going to go anywhere. It was just me in this relationship.
And obviously, I think saying that is so much easier said than done. Like, I can tell you, like, you need to let that go, you need to let that go. But I feel like when you're the one experiencing that, like, I think shift in that relationship with that person, you hold on to what you once had. And I think it's just realizing that that's not where you're at anymore. But that part is hard. It's hard. Like, it doesn't have to be just like a intimate partner relationship. Like losing, if I'm being honest, like losing friendships, I think is a little harder because I think when you talk about relationships with a partner, you know that sometimes it works out with that person and it doesn't. But I don't think it's talked about as much when it comes to like a friendship or like a relationship with a family member. Like it's not as common to be able to put up boundaries and like be able to end certain relationships as much when it comes to like friendships or things like that. I think it's not as common. I think it's more common to end a relationship with a partner when things are not working out. But I don't think it's as talked about or common when it's someone like a different relationship. And I think it's harder to see when it's not working out when it's like a friend or a family member.
Yeah. To add on to what you were saying, Jasmine, like I do agree. Sometimes it is harder to lose that friendship, especially when it was a close friendship, because in a sense, like they know a lot about you. And me, and I wasn't telling Kathy to completely just forget and drop that friendship. I basically told her, it's like, if you're trying to put in energy into this friendship, you're texting them and they're not texting back. Just take a step back because obviously they're not looking to be found or they're not looking to talk to you in this moment. So for me, I'm like, stop, like, just take a step back and wait to see if they will reach out to you. If not, that's already kind of telling you what it is. That maybe at this moment, maybe I don't know what they're going through, but maybe they just don't have the time. I don't know, but you did your part of trying to, hang out with that person, build, get back to where you guys were. Like you tried. And two, I've had, I have a, cause I want to say have, but at this point it's like leading to had a very close friend that I met in undergrad. We lived together for about maybe like 2 years, but we were really close to the point, even when I moved back to the Bay Area, we used to, she'll like text me often during the week, or we'll talk for like hours on the phone. And out of nowhere, when I was in school recently, maybe like last year, just everything just changed. And a part of me is like, oh, something's going on with her, like thinking the worst, like something's bad. Because I would text her and she would maybe say something very short, and then that's it. Like I said, she used to send me memes. We used to be really close, and I kept saying like, hey, I'm worried about you. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Because in my head, like something's wrong, because I didn't do anything to her. We never had no type of falling out or butting heads, but her energy shift. And for me, in my head, I was like, something's going on with her, but she's not willing to open up to me, so I can't just keep prying for information when she's not ready to open up to me. Because she keeps saying like, I'm okay. She said that the reason why she's not talking to me as much is because I'm in grad school and I need to focus. But I told her like, I never asked you or told you that I'm too busy to talk to you. But sometimes, you just got to take a step back. And for me, that has been the hardest, because I am worried about her and I do want to, in a sense, like make sure she's okay, but she does not want to, like she doesn't want to communicate with me in a sense, and she's not. I don't know if that
Did
makes
that make
sense.
you feel like sad in any way? Because I had a similar situation in a sense where, oh, I was really close to someone, and I felt like we knew each other's deepest, darkest secrets, and like to be able to tell someone like something so personal, and vice versa. Like you develop a strong bond, even if it's not within, like even if you don't know that person for a really long time. And so same thing, like I was communicating with a certain person and texting them, trying to contact them, and my thought was, oh, they're busy. And then after I realized like, no, like this is beyond being busy, like it's completely not answering anything at all. And then at one point, I started to get worried, like, oh my God, they're going through something, like they're in danger. Like, obviously, like I always go to the worst case scenario. But I was like, they're in danger. I was like, they're laying on the floor right now and they can't even contact me. Like, like, so, I show up and try to talk to them, and I see that they're alive, standing, walking. They open the door for me, and as I'm trying to talk to them, I can feel like a cold shoulder, completely like just complete energy is off. And I'm just gonna cut the conversation short here, but just say like it didn't work out. They just said they didn't want me in their life anymore. And then I'm over here thinking like I did something wrong, and it really messes with your head a little bit. Like it really makes you like rethink everything you've ever done. What did I do to hurt them? You just start overthinking, and it just makes you really sad because you once had a beautiful friendship and that no longer exists. And there was not necessarily any communication about what happened, and it's really hard to, it's kind of like breaking up with someone and not getting closure. So
That's
that's yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Because I know, Jasmine, you started off with asking, did that make me sad? Even when I was explaining the story, like I felt it in my soul. Like I started kind of getting emotional in a sense, because again, in a sense, I don't think I did anything wrong. I do really think that something's going on with her, where she's not unable to reach out to me. I think something's going on with her in her life where I can't help. So what I do, I just pray for her, and I just hope and pray that everything is okay, because like I said, it was just a shift and I don't know why. And I don't know if she's listening to this episode, but yeah, it's definitely been a shift, and I love her so much, and I hope she's doing okay. Yeah, and I'm thinking about her, but for me, it's like I don't blame myself, because we were like really close, and I just think she got a lot going on right now, and then I can't do anything about it.
And I love that you are thinking logically because I was thinking emotionally when my situation happened. And it took me a really long time to realize, oh, it's not me. They're going through something, and I've already offered to be there, and I'm not able to because they're not accepting or they're not willing to open up. And there's pretty much nothing I can do on that end. And I really tried. And I think that's where I got into my healing stage, but it was hard without that like communication with each other.
Exactly. And I had to kind of force myself to stop texting her, to stop reaching out, because, you know, I would wait like a month and I'm like, hey, just checking in on you, making sure everything is okay. And then she won't text back, and I'll call and leave like a funny voicemail. It's like, hey, I'm just checking in on you, making sure you're still alive somewhere, but like nothing. I think the last time I kind of heard from her was when it was already very short, but she texted me happy birthday, which was like in January, and then I texted her happy birthday in April, and that was it. But hey, I had to learn to like just take a step back, even though part of me want to text her and give her updates about my life. I was like, no, let me not let me not do it.
Damn, girl, I just realized you said January. I'm over here like, whoa, it is almost December.
Exactly. Yeah, so I guess getting back to just being busy in life, and how it's hard to hold up these relationships and friendships, and basically all relationships. It is difficult being a student,
It is.
because it's, in a sense, you don't have time for yourself. And you don't have time for yourself. The little time that you do have, a lot of the time, speaking for myself personally, I want to keep that time for myself. And now that I've been like a emo kid for like the past 2 years, and have been like a little bit more emo kid recently, like this semester, like I did find myself separating myself from like close friends. But then again, it's not because like I'm mad at them or anything. It's because I'm dealing with my own stuff, and I just need that time for myself, because life be lifing. But for true friendships that I really, really do care about, I do make time, even if it's a little time out of my day, because I do care for them. And though I'm busy, they're in I don't know. Like, though I'm busy, I do make some time. When people say, you make time for things you do care about. So I do try to make a little time, even if that's like a phone call of like talking to them for a little bit, or something. I'll try to make some time, a little time.
Yeah, no, and I've seen that. Like even like um, Kathy was talking about cactus friendships, how you don't have to water certain things as much. And I feel like our relationship and, like you, me, and Vanessa, we've known each other for so long, but we're not the kind where we need to talk to each other all the time, and we're okay with that. Like I don't know. I don't know. We're okay with it. Like, we don't need to be in each other's life all the time. I think we celebrate like major milestones with each other, because we're all living our own life. You're in one area, Vanessa's living in a different area, and I'm living like, we're all living in completely different cities, but we still find time to manage to celebrate our milestones and be there when we need each other in our darkest times. And I think for me, like, that's the definition of a true friendship.
Exactly. Because again, we're adults. We're adult teen. Even though we feel like children a lot, 99% of the time, but we have responsibilities. So I like the fact that Jasmine said, we're okay with not, texting each other every day or talking on the phone every day, but we won't let too much time go by before we check in on each other. And then when we do meet up, it's like time has not passed. And that's how it is, and that's how it, in a sense, it should be. No hard feelings, because we're all working towards something. If anything, we're pushing each other to focus on whatever you're doing, and hanging out, going to dinner and everything that can wait. So I have a question for the both of you. How is it being in a relationship, like with your partner, your boyfriend, your fiance, and being in school? Are they supportive? Do they understand? How is it? And I'll give my take on how it is being single and trying to date while in school.
Hold it. Let's pause right here. Stay tuned for part 2.
Thanks for listening to this episode of PG3 with your hosts Linda, Jasmine, and Kathy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe at a potent dose of 3 so that you never miss an episode and your weekly dose.